Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Amasid and today I am showing off my Lightning Strike Raider. This is a build showcase for what I think is maybe one of, if not my strongest characters ever. This character can do everything from single target to clear maps insanely fast without a headhunter, mind you. I did buy a headhunter, but we'll walk through that. But this is pre-headhunter footage you're looking at here. It's a very strong build. This is a super popular build this league. So I just kind of wanted to show off my character so you guys could see what I've been operating with for basically the last 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I started off by looking at Asoro's guide because I've never made this character before. So I'll have a link to his guide in the description if you want to check out sort of where I started off to understand how to build this character, how I wanted it to look, what stats I needed to build towards, just getting a basic understanding, and then I kind of took it from there and built my own version of it. Now, you can see here, I mean, this thing is just, it feels like you have a headhunter even when you don't have one. It's crazy strong. So now I want to quickly show you guys what this thing can look like in, I would say, a more challenging fight. So I will show you an Elderslayers fight so you get an idea of what this thing looks like in terms of, I guess, true single target. So let's check that out right now. Before we keep going with the video, if you really like the channel and want to show your support, a subscription is always appreciated. Additionally, we just made a Discord, so if you want to keep up with the channel and just hang out and talk, that's also a place to be. Link is in the About section of my channel. Anyway, let's keep going with the video. Alrighty everyone, we are back. Now let's take a look and walk through my gear. I'll also show my POB and give you guys just a couple of caveats on how to look at it if you decide to look at it on your own. So the first thing I'll note here is in my character right now, I'm using a headhunter. In the map that I showed, as well as the Elderslayers Fight, I was using a different belt. The belt, I'll show it on the screen now just to give you an idea of what it was. So this would increase my damage by roughly 10%, give or take, putting that belt on versus having the headhunter. But obviously headhunter has a lot of other benefits that we're getting in just normal mapping, which is what we're doing most of the time. So it outweighs it from my perspective. But now let's walk through the rest of the gear. So my claw here is a very nice claw. You can see it's about a 775 EDPS claw with 1.9 APS and 7.9% crit. It cost me, I think, 30x, give or take. It's a nice claw. To find anything in this range, that's how much they were selling for at the time. I don't know how much they are now. I'm sure I could have crafted it for less, but here we are. Helmet, I bought the base for 1x when I first made the character. There's obviously a better base. The Blizzard Crown base would be very nice, but I did not go for that. Getting that in my build right now is just about a 600k to 700k DPS increase, which is nothing. But I was thinking it's probably something to do down the line. Looking at the amulet, obviously it's the Crystallized Omniscience. This is just the standard amulet for this build at this level. So not too much to say there. I could get a better one, obviously, with like a double corrupt, but I'm using the baseline one for now. Shield was just about 2x. It has suppression, T1 attack speed, and some very nice life. I crafted on Avoid Ally Ailments to cap myself, but it's a pretty nice shield. Ring here, this ring could be very much improved. Basically, I needed accuracy. I needed some high accuracy to make up for the loss of dexterity. So I have high LE damage as well as a flat attribute stat of dexterity as well as T1 accuracy. So it does the job. It could be a lot better. Obviously, there's dead mods on this ring. Right? We've got the evasion, the life on kill. So it could be a lot better, but not too shabby. We got Ferules here. So Ferules is pretty standard. I've been more and more thinking about replacing this with either a percent attribute or a flat attribute chest. Those are out there. Those are good options. It's just to get the ones I'm looking at are in like the 20 to 40x range. So it's just more of a matter of spending the cash, I guess, is spending the exalts because it's not cheap, right? So I haven't done anything with that yet, but I think I will at some point because I'm sitting on about 100x right now, so I could definitely afford it. Mark of the Elder Steel Ring, pretty standard. I divined this up myself up to 80%, as well as a pretty good cold damage roll, so relatively standard there. Looking at my gloves are nice. They could be better. They do have the strike skills target one additional nearby enemy. Now you can get that as an implicit with the Eldritch mods, but then you can't get the max frenzy charge, so because it's influenced to get that. So I decided to go with the skill strike as well as the max frenzy. I crafted my aspect of the cat on this for when I'm using my Ferules, so that's pretty nice, as well as some nice T1, or I think it's T2 res, and then a pretty low life roll. It's not nothing. And then I crafted on attack speed there. Belt's Headhunter, like I said. Then we have my boots here. These are certainly room for improvement. I think I paid 7 or 8 X for these. I can't remember exactly. They're nice though because they have 35% movement speed, T1 life, flat attribute, and suppression, T1 suppression. I put the Eldritch implicits on myself of movement speed and avoid ailments, so that caps me, and the movement speed is nice. They're low tier rolls, but they do the job. So flasks, not too much to say here. You can kind of check those out on your own time. But looking through my jewels here, I'm only using a 1 large cluster setup. I could certainly try and make a move towards getting medium or mediums in, but honestly, I'm pretty content with my tree. It seems to do the job for me. So I haven't felt the need to sort of make dramatic changes there. So walking through the jewels here, this guy here is relatively standard. I think I paid 75C for this. It's just max life, multi, and attack speed, just all good mods for this build. Over here, we've got the same sort of situation, max life, crit, multi, attack speed, and then I have a Watcher's Eye with precision, precision attack speed, which I think is about an X or 2, give or take. Standard here is Intuitive Leap, nothing too crazy there. I'll show you guys my Lethal Pride. Now, my Lethal Pride is not the best Lethal Pride, but it does the job. It's got fizz damage taken as hits from, fizz damage taken from hits taken as fire. That's pretty good. We've got flat strength here and flat strength somewhere else here. And then we also have a double damage node here, as well as 4% max life. So, and the rest of these are kind of duds. These aren't too crazy, but it's a pretty nice Lethal Pride in terms of getting Omniscience, so that's pretty cool, but nothing too wild. Now I will walk you guys through the old POB. So I'll note a couple things on the config. So you can see all-in damage with my Culling DPS and my Ancestral Protector and War Chief down. I'm at just over 20 mil. So with the other belt, I would be just about 22, give or take. Looking at my skills, so if you take this out, it brings you down to 17.3. This is kind of assuming all-in boss damage though. So you will have these down because it doesn't really cost you anything to put them down. Configuration, I will note here, I don't have Cat Stealth or Agility active right now because they're rotating, so you can kind of see what they look like when they're on. Obviously, getting Stealth is a lot better. So we've got Cyrus mod here. This doesn't have any of my flasks equipped or anything like that, or triggered. We are using Frenzy and Power, Chilled, and then also so we have Resonance at 50, Elusive. So obviously Elusive is not going to be at 100% all the time, but if you uncheck it, so it takes you down to 10.5. So that's assuming you have no Elusive, you're still at 10.5 with your Vol Lightning Strikes down, but you will have Elusive up on average somewhere. You know, it's like, it won't be at maximum, but it'll be somewhere average down. So even if we drop this to like 70, it's still a pretty good 14 mil DPS, even if what you're averaging out. But if you're going for the maximum, like when you first trigger your Withering Step, then, which is triggered on my left click there, it'll be at that 20 mil, roughly, give or take, with everything all in. So for like the initial strike on a boss, you can expect that kind of damage if you're using this sort of gear. So anyway, I think that's the character. Let me know if there's any questions, comments you guys had on this. You know, things to change. Sure, I'm always open. I would say I'm pretty happy with my character right now, though, and it's been able to do every single thing in the game, pretty much. So I feel pretty confident with how it's performing, and there's obviously upgrades I want to make. Like I said, I want to maybe swap my chest out once I can just muster up the courage to spend the 40x, I guess, because that kind of stings. But other than that, let me know what you guys think. Have you guys played this build? What builds are you guys playing? Anyway, but that's it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.